People talk about consciousness being gradually minimalized in recent years. And in response, people legalized marijuana, promoted veganism, and said vegetarianism was morally and ethically responsible now. And the white racist nationalist who interferes and eats their beef and their chicken and goes to the farm and takes the egg out of the basket from the hen putting the object there overnight now was inconsiderate. Violent and destroying their planet now, where their children and those children and all of the babies and all of the kids have to grow up eventually now. Nowadays, people sit around and tolerate silence. Humans allow the quiet and celebrate the rioting, explosions, and the spontaneity from the cry of confusion in a toddler's whimper. And the woman with a disorder who pulls the fire alarm twice in one morning to go to the psychiatric room where she can get food for free and then come back and get more fentanyl. And other chemicals now. Energy depletion has now been made to benefit the stimulation and has stolen the practice from Buddhism and Islam of fasting and exceeded the limits, the objective qualities of consciousness for an emotion now. And unfortunately, the high IQ doctor and professor and teacher and lecturer and instructor and surgeon and nurse and staff and resident, similar to behavior and psychology and men especially now, and hormones and endocrinology tests for numbers, percentages and statistics to reduce and limit and restrict the amounts and the duration and the quality and the strength and the power of the human. Will learn how to identify calories and fat stored in the body and the minimum needed for breathing, sitting, and stillness now. And then the world and civilization will never have fear, never have duress when the ritual practice of the masses and the crowds who riot and break windows and cause violence against those who oppose their demands now for the sanctity of their substances and the benefits of their chemicals will not be around at 10 o'clock at night to get shot dead at a bus stop down the street from the university where those teachers and those professors and those doctors have their classes now and make their money to go home and shelter their families and loved ones from the destruction beyond their walls now. Psychiatrists understand the formula and the equation needed to accomplish these goals and this objective I'm describing now. This purpose for eliminating any sort of gun-carrying, badge-wearing, brutal officer in a department with money donated and provided by the citizens they serve and protect now. Writing prescriptions and receiving results from the lab about amounts and toxicity. And observed changes over recorded decision-making processes now. Writing and typing notes about gestures and the verbal response from the dosage of the Adderall and the lithium and the Zoloft and the Prozac and the olanzapine now. Achieving stillness from a pill, a shot, a treatment electrically. From a business, a company, an organization, an institution, a manufacturer of the process in the system they call and describe as longevity, vitality, and most notably, necessary. The elimination of violence, to conclude, has been decided as limits and restrictions and control of the population and the masses and the crowds who argue for the elimination of the side effect and the response of the human who does too much crack and smokes too much meth and swallows too many tablets of steroids and fentanyl and ecstasy and smokes too much tobacco and does too many marijuana pot hits now and forgets to go to the grocery store and buy food to reduce the suffering and pain caused by their substances and their chemicals made by gang members and cartels and vicious dictators in faraway locations now, mixed with nasty, disgusting poisons. Very similar to getting rid of humans from the city during certain approved hours and allowing the animals to have freedom. Taking the shackles off the doors of the zoo and letting the giraffe, the hippo, the rhinoceros enjoy the world they were forced to leave previously. Giving those who aren't requesting, who aren't asking, who are saying with their fists and their IED devices in the middle of Seattle and other places, in other sectors, in other parts of planet Earth, they have the right to do drugs. They have the choice to argue against the society they say and the civilization they have proclaimed as racist and inequality filled nonsense. To have the Marxist, the communist, and the social replacing the capitalist and the economic and the business and the family for a more fair, equal, and better process for those who want to go and be safe and secure, and those who want to have their stimulation publicly available now.